Welcome to Cards Unboxed. Today we're going to be looking at the second deck from the Black Legacy collection by Ellusionist, in this case the Shadow Masters, and we'll be comparing them to the V2s and the original Shadow Masters as well. The Black Legacy Shadow Masters has a variety of redesigns to the tuck and the cards themselves, especially when you compare it to the original set. Firstly, the tuck is a matte black finish card with very detailed embossing and black and white foiled accents on all sides. The front is a redesigned Shadow Masters eagle. The sides have the same white foil text as the black tigers, which we've seen in the previous video. The borders are a little bit different though. We also get that fancy foiled and pressed ad copy on the bottom of the deck, just like the V1 Legacy Black Tigers. The deck also has the silver foil custom seal with the SM text for Shadow Masters on it. Then you notice the completely redesigned back, which is nothing like the original Shadow Masters, but you can see here that embossing and foil finish that's on the card box. Then just like with the V1 Legacy Black Tigers, you also get that Legacy definition that's pressed and foiled on the tuck flap, and the side flaps have also got a slightly updated Ellusionist logo. Before we start looking at the cards though, I think this is the perfect opportunity to whip out the V2 Legacy editions and let's compare the V1 and V2s a little bit. So just like the Legacy Black Tigers, the V2 Shadow Masters has the same overall design tuck case, but it completely loses all the foil and the embossing. It goes for a simplified satin version of that design. It also defaults to a standard black seal, and even though you still have the same detailing on the inside of the tuck, again, it's a flat satin. Away from the tuck cases though, the V1s and the V2s on the inside, the actual cards themselves, are identical. They both get the same ad copy card, they both get a double backer, and then the rest of the cards, the jokers, the aces, the faces, everything's identical. With the V1 Legacy Black Tigers, the ad copy card was noticeably poorer quality than the V2 version of the ad copy card. That seems to have been rectified on the Shadow Masters. So for comparison, this is the standard original Shadow Masters. You can see that original eagle spade that's built into that. You also see the original back design as well. These were released before foil and embossing tuck cases was really a thing. Here are the Legacy Edition jokers, both customised, but one of them does have the 9 of spades reveal. Then when you compare it to the original Shadow Masters, you'll notice it is the same design, but it's actually a different reveal completely. Instead of the 9 of spades being in smoke, you've got a 3 of diamonds in what appears to be bones. The original also seems to have slightly thicker smoke in the artwork as well. The 3 aces look similar, but the newer pips are cleaner. The red's brighter, straighter edges on the diamonds, the hearts are slightly elongated. But the big change is that ace of spades with that new travel line designed master eagle on it. In addition, the text is laid out ever so slightly different. Legacy written on it now instead of bicycle. And the Shadow Masters at the top on the original was further down and had more of a shaded effect to it. And although it's a minor change, the eagle is behind the spade on these originals, whereas on the Legacies he's now in front of it. All the pips are updated now on the Legacies. You've completely lost any of the shading that used to exist on the original Shadows. They're now very clean, very small and centralised by comparison. Even the reds had that shaded effect on the originals, although it's hard to pick up on camera. It's completely absent on the Legacies. The Legacies also have updated quartz artwork to this plain white lined effect. The originals had this really nice grey and white shaded shadowed effect on them, much nicer in my opinion. By comparison, the new Legacies artwork is just a bit boring. And that brings us to the most notable change, which is the back design. The redesigned Legacies on the left have more of a solid approach with solid whites and solid greys, whereas the originals on the right had more of a shadowed effect, gives more of a 3D effect, especially around the angels. The new design does look good in its own right though. The Legacy Edition Shadow Masters are a really nice looking deck, but my main gripe about them is it's pretty much removed anything related to Shadow in its design work. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the originals or the Legacies. Help me grow the channel by sharing this video, giving it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, that way you don't miss the next lot of content.